was lucky enough to already come into a company that was already leveraging Shark Tech. They told me to buckle up before coming here, yep. I knew it was going to be a little intense. Of course, I was all rough and tough, like, it's not going to be intense for me, but it was. I got to admit. It was challenging, it was exhausting at times, but it was really good. The biggest thing for me is really focusing on doing an extremely thorough discovery, because I'm much more confident now than I was coming in. A good discovery is your best friend when it comes to being a successful salesperson in the MSP world. You know, when you're going through the presentation, you're just starving for things to grab onto and to throw out there as value or proof that, like, this is why you should bring us on board. So I think, you know, that piece right there probably gave me the most amount of confidence coming out of here. The actual process itself, from beginning to end, all the steps that I see in there, you know, not only are logical to sales, but for the MSP world specifically, it's just kind of a science, and it's, you know, obviously proven. It's worked for ARC, it's worked for a lot of other companies, it's worked for our company. Frankly, you know, we've been partnered with Shark Tech for a while, and all of our salespeople come through here. It's worked for us. The pressure that Nick put on us, honestly, you could tell I wasn't messing around. You know, I came in, he said, "All right, did everyone read the book? Did everyone not read the book?" And I raised my hand, and he was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry, man, I didn't have time." And that stuck with me all week, and it was no joke. I mean, we had fun with it, of course, but down to business. We're here to learn, we're here to get better, make more money. The only time you experience growth is through discomfort, and honestly, the presentation, those are a pretty uncomfortable experience, but I'd much rather fall on my face in a simulated scenario than when a $100,000 deal is on the line out there, right? Nick pushed me. I've been in sales a while. I felt very comfortable throughout this process. I never really felt uncomfortable. And what I saw in Nick is that he took each individual, and even though he was training to the group, he still made an effort to kind of provide that individualized attention to each person depending on what he felt like they needed. A lot of times where I maybe struggled was just some quick clarifications throughout, and he would stop to do so, or he'd be happy to answer my questions. And then he would push me on small things. I would say, if you sign this agreement versus when you sign this agreement. And he called those things out, and that was one of the pieces of feedback that I got after getting the deal signed here, was we loved that you were saying when you come on with our company, when we become partners. You can thank Nick for that, because he was pointed out. So he's a honey badger. He just don't give a shit. I was talking with some of the other guys. We were exhausted, and we just pretty much, you know, we sit there for a lot of time. And that's tiring in and of itself, but how about poor Nick having to be up there with his energy all day long, trying to keep us captivated? So honey badger, that dude just never quits. This isn't like any other training you've had. It's intense. It makes you uncomfortable. A lot of the training is just gonna be going through the motions, pointing things out, making you aware of them. Really, Shark Tech training is real life, high intensity. In the real world, you go out there, you stumble on a talk track or something like that, your prospect isn't gonna know. They don't know what your talk track is. They don't know what you're trying to get at, right? So you're good, you're safe. You're in your own head thinking, all right, how do I just move away from that one? I didn't mean to mess up there. Here, everyone knows exactly what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, and that's stressful. That's stressful. Sales Lab is exhausting, but necessary. Buckle up. Shark Tech Sales Laboratory. If you think you're good at sales, come give us a try.